Well, it might be the last day of May, but the month of May, also known as Africa Month, it's been a time for us to celebrate all the wonders of our beautiful land.
Of course, Radio 2000 actually commemorated Africa Day, which was this past Thursday, with an amazing event. And of course, we made sure that we were in amongst all of the jubilation.
Africa Day is a celebration of the plethora of cultures that exist on the continent. Radio 2000 led an event at SABC Radio Park, where the consulates and high commissions of 11 African countries came together to show off their cuisine, fashion and culture.
We're trying to learn about other African cultures, other African people, what makes them who they are, how are we related, and how we can get along together as a continent and just be Pan-African.
At the core of this cultural exchange was an opportunity to learn what makes each country unique and be enlightened by similarities in traditions.
Today is a culmination of bringing it back home at the SABC in front of Radio 2000's doorstep and showcasing what is real by tasting the cuisine. And I believe that it can only grow from here, because it's not only on Africa Day or Africa Month that Radio 2000 has brought this into the heart and soul of people, but in mind's eye, it's every day through its music, through its people, and celebrating and making sure that we have the dialogue and conversation.
A major focal point of any African culture is the tradition of wholesome, flavorful meals that brings communities together and connects people over a plate of food.
What I think stands out about African cuisine is that we eat everything and everything. You know, when it comes to the beef, we make sure that from the head to the feet, you know, we eat your tribe. You know, we don't waste anything like the Europeans. So that's what makes us stand out. On today's buffet, what I've got over there, from the starter side of the buffet, I've got our meatballs, which is a Tunisian influence, where we got the chemula sauce that I've used into the meatballs. Moving from that, I've got a mussel broth. The mussel broth, which is more of a Tanzanian kind of flavor, where I've got the coconut flavor with the lemongrass into it and some touch of ginger. And I've got Nigerian, of course, on the mains, where we got the jollof rice that we incorporated with the lime fish, and get into being proudly South African, brother. It's quite clear that I have to put some beef tombola over there. So, you know, it's great. It's one of the greatest dish that you can have from the olden days into our winter session.
Music and bright traditional apparel added to the festive atmosphere, where each country could celebrate their contribution to the continent.
The significance of my country being able to celebrate African Day is the fact that we pride ourselves as being Africans, and we contributed a lot in the meetings and other issues that led to the establishment of the Organization of African Unity on 25th of May 1963, and we never rested until all Africa became independent. So for us, it is a very great day to celebrate.
You can't really do or achieve much alone. And it's the same as it is for an individual, it's the same as it is for a continent. And I would say that this day should actually be seen as an embodiment of that idea, that we should be united, and with unity, anything is achievable.
Africa is the way to be. Africa is united. Africa will lead the world.
I think it's time for the youth to get involved with the issues of the national interest. So if we invest in youth now, we have a brighter future of Africa. Asante.
When there's so much vibrancy, warm and welcoming people, and of course great food, we should celebrate the unity and diversity of our multifaceted continent in Africa Month.